Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Sunday Night Coffee Talk. As you can see, we're not cooking tonight because I just got back from a convention. Basically, unload has happened. A little bit has been put away, but mostly it's just mess. And I knew we weren't going to be up to getting everything unpacked and then setting up the kitchen and cooking and getting groceries. I'm going to have to order groceries tomorrow and deal with it then. So let me see here what we've got. Rocky Mountain Girl is here. Air Frying Auntie, awesome moderator, is here. Carrie is here. And yes, I'm using my phone, so I have to scroll through here. Carrie's going on a really long time with no coffee or caffeine. And he says that he had another bill that was real high. Yeah, everything's extra expensive these days. So let's see. And then, and his back is hurt. So I'm sorry that you're sad, but, I don't know what to tell you. You just seem to have like a run of real bad luck. So let's see. A coffee joke. Attila is on. Let's see. Air frying. I said air frying Auntie's here. Sharon is here. And air frying Auntie's asking Attila if he enjoyed the con. And I know that he logged in, but I don't know if he's watching the stream because I can hear like a video or a game real loud. So we'll see. Or maybe his volume is real loud and that's me talking in an echo. That's weird. So let's see. Sharon's here prepping for dinner. Smash burgers on the flat top and jalapeno poppers. That sounds fantastic. And 22Q Cat, did you even leave? It is a lot of live streams, and I've missed them while I was at con. Oh, Barely Begun is here. Lots of hellos back and forth. Brenda's here. And Sharon said they had their first real test cut with the new CNC today. Be on the lookout for new Hungry Heath swag. Maybe some Radical Geek swag. I made that part up, but, if I sneak it in there. Let's see. Oh, hey, yo, from Hungry Heath. Good evening from Miriam. Oh, Mama Bear Lynette's here, but has to drive home after picking up her son, so she won't be seeing the comments. That's right, safety first. And it's raining. Yeah, be very careful. Another Brenda's here. Both are beloved Brendas. So let's see. And the warden, reminding everybody, give it a thumbs up. And Carrie says that he does miss drinking coffee, but it really impacts him, so he'll just have to stick with water. Is it all coffee? I mean, I know you've talked about the caffeine, but what about like decaf? I'm just curious. Have you had decaf? Maybe just the warmth it would be. You could always try just having like a half cup twice a week of decaf and see if that does it. Attila says the game is pretty silent. It's me that's being loud. He's got his volume turned up on the video. Okay. Well, you're used to me being loud anyways. Hungry Heath says he made the warden's coffee this morning and he had his daily required dose of caffeine. Oh, you know what? Oh, I meant to stop at the store in the convention center. Darn it, because now that we can't buy bangs anymore, well, if you can, they're not my favorite flavors, and obviously, it's just not something that I'm going out of my way to do, and I don't have energy drinks very often, but when we had our previous pop-up event for the anime convention, SakaiCon, the GNC had a strawberry cream or strawberry something Rise energy drink on sale for $1, and we were all drinking them, and it was so tasty. And I did have to cut it with just some plain seltzer, which was fine because there are restaurants, and honestly, I went to a bar and was like, hey, do you just have seltzer water on tap? And they did, and they, for some reason, thought it was too weird that that's all I wanted, and so they didn't charge me. So I used that, put it half and half in my my hydro flask, different brands, and that was perfect. It was great. It just kind of flavored everything. I can't get comfortable. My body hurts from all of the convention center running around. Let's see, Rick Wynn. Hey, Joy, good to see you. Rainy North Carolina. Uh, and Sharon says, of course there'll be some radical geek swag. Awesome. Uh, Carrie says he hasn't tried decaf, and the decaf does still technically have caffeine. You're not wrong there. You're right. Uh, well, we'll think of something. You also could just try some warm water with a little splash of lemon in it, and that's actually very soothing and very nice for your gut health. Also has some good amino acids and your vitamin C. Barely Begun says he should get some portable Hungry Heath or Radical Geek swag. Keep him on track when you're out and about. But I suppose that coffee mug was a pain in the behind to actually get finally. Hopefully you actually got the real deal. It's not exactly a portable mug. Let's see. And Carrie says he doesn't want to break his streak with not having caffeine. That makes sense to me. Absolutely. And Barely Begun says that's a great idea to have some portable stuff. We'll have to keep it in line. So the warden will keep him in line. Let's see. Brenda says that Kroger has Celsius for 99 cents. Cut it with over seltzer. Also cuts it with seltzer. It's over sweetened. Yeah, I just find that over time everything is really sweet, and so I do tend to cut it down quite a lot. Airfryer Nanny likes my blue shirt. I'm sorry, you guys, though. I will apologize. It might look kind of comfy, but it's kind of an undershirt. But I just was like over it. We were lucky that I still wore my pants. So let's see. And then Barely Begun says, except that every time that he passes a Dutch, he'll hear the warden in his ears, in his recorded voice, urging him to pull over. See, I don't have that problem because we don't have Dutch. And I have a story to share with you, and it's related. We'll get there. Let's see. Carrie says, even if you did get a decaf, you'd have to figure out how to brew it without a brewer. Yeah, I can work through that with you, Carrie. That's easy. But I think the lemon or lime with the hot water is the best plan. It's really good. I really enjoy it. Yeah, the warden, how's your ear? Let us know. Oh, okay. You already did let me know. I just hadn't got to it. Improving. You're able to turn the volume down in the car, and you found some Claritin and used a hot compress like Sharon said to do. Good. Brenda's laughing at my pants joke. Let's see. Carrie says, why did Lemon go out with a prune? She couldn't find a date. Oh, that's pretty bad and also hilarious. Hungry, he says he'll allow and even encourage Porky Pigging it while broadcasting live. So Airfryer Annie says she posted a meme the other day. Other girls out there with extensions and fake eyelashes every day, and she doesn't even want to put on pants. I know. Some of I've seen those like on TikTok and stuff. The beauty people, and let me tell you, they look amazing. But wow, what a lot of work! It's amazing. I can't get over it. Like I'm. First of all, no matter how many tutorials I watch, I can't do it. And I've worn makeup before, but like the eyeliner irritates me, and I find it quite the challenge. And I don't know how I would feel about spending like 45 minutes every day. I did think, with my new haircut, with this side having hair and then being shaved over here, I do still have this part in the back. I was sort of half wondering, what if I made this like real curly? Like I think they still sell like those old-fashioned hair curlers that we used like in the 70s and 80s. What if I put like lots of little tiny ones and then I had little spirals? Can I even do such a thing? I don't know. That sounds crazy. And by the way, it's still coffee talk, this time with actual coffee. Hungry He says working from home is amazing. He only has to be on camera once, maybe twice a week, and that's only from the chest up. I've posted that on my feed a couple times. The video of the woman, and she's like, and I'm like, this reminds me of me, just sitting in her like a undershirt and has a big stuffed animal, and she's like eating Cheetos, and everything's a mess. And then she says, "Oh, cam on cam, no freaking warning." And so she like sweeps everything off the desk and puts on a blazer, and slicks her hair back and says, "Good morning, everyone." And I'm like, I get it. So, and Rickwin says, try the curls. If it doesn't work out, you only have to wash it again. That's true. And Barely Begun says curls still sound like a lot of work, but he did like the idea for adding some color, maybe some purple at the end. Yeah, I do like that, and I'm actually, I know it's not a bright color, but I've done dark black before. The kind of black that's like so black that it almost in the sunshine gets a little blue cast to it. And I did think that I might be willing to try that again because it easily fades out with my hair color, which is dark brown anyways. But my eyebrows are actually very black, and so they kind of everything gets sort of highlighted. It's weirdly complementary. So, like instead of becoming like pasty goth, I actually look a little bit more vibrant with the extra dark hair. And Brenda says she keeps a scarf on her chair in case they all go on camera. Good cover for a pajama top. Yeah, actually, a lot of times I like to work in my spaghetti straps, and then I just pin a shawl on, which looks nice. And the warden says, yeah, she's done black before, loved it, but she looked very goth. Yeah. And Hungry Heath is a big fan of shaving it all off. In fact, he's about to do another trim. Well, I mean, for it, I think, I don't know if you guys saw me the first year at Keto Palooza, and I don't remember what my hair was, but I've had my hair all kinds of lengths. I've had it shoulder length. I've had it all the way up to where it was basically all mostly shaved, and then just like a little bit on the top, high and tight. I don't want to offend anybody by saying what we called it amongst ourselves, especially A, within the family, and B, in the LGBTQ community. But ask me offline and I'll tell you what we called on my haircut because it was pretty funny. So, another drink of coffee. And if you're looking now and saying, but also Maitreya, you look kind of tired, I am tired. We'll talk about all kinds of stuff here. But I do have lots to chat about, so at least there's that. Ask me questions too, because it's going to be one of those like easy to stray and just have garbage all evening. But I'm going to show you the first thing that I got at the convention was this leather dice tray. Let me see. So you can see, check it out. I love it. And it has snaps in the corners. So once we undo those, we're going to unsnap it. And then I just roll it up. And it has this little strap. So I'm just going to do that and pin it up here and show you how it makes it pretty portable. Now, I can make these, and I have made them, but I wanted to see what someone else's was like, and I will tell you, I love it, and I'm 100% going to use it, but I'm going to go over it now and tell you things that are the reason. It was only $15, and I didn't look real close. I was just like, $15 is really cheap. I saw mine for $25. And mine don't have any design in it. It's an extra $5 if they want me to stamp something into it. And quite frankly, I haven't done it for a long time because I just don't want to. Let's see. There's lots of conversation back and forth. Carrie, okay, Airfryer Annie's asking me my favorite game of the con. We'll get to that in a little bit. Carrie's asking, why was the computer found in the coffee shop to have screenshots? More jokes. Compliments on the dice tray. Carrie says it's a cool dice with the leather. Back in the day when he played D&D, he had a Crown Royal bag. Crown Royal bags are the best dice bags. That used to be one of my favorite memes. It just had a picture of the Crown Royal bag kind of coming down over the actual bottle of Crown Royal, and it said soft velvety dice bags comes free with bottle of alcohol. So the warden says, tell me the Dutch coffee related thing. So it's not necessarily related to Dutch coffee, but this weekend I said, you know what? I haven't been to Starbucks in years. And before, everything changed, I used to drive and go through the drive-through at Starbucks and indulge all the time. And I used to get me a triple Americano and add heavy cream and some sugar-free vanilla. And I really liked it. And I said, you know what? I just drink my black coffee all the time. I'm getting one. It's going to be a nice convention treat. And honestly, I don't know if it changed or if it was me that changed, but it was so gross that I couldn't drink it. I had 2 sips and I was like, nope, absolutely not. It was disgusting. So, and it was not cheap either. It was kind of pricey, so I'm like extra disappointed. Oh, Keto Simple, welcome, but you're at Walmart just dropping in to say hello. Like Deadpool hearts. So let's see. But yeah. Man, I'm still upset about that. I really thought it would still be absolutely delicious and wonderful, and instead, ugh, it was so bad. But yeah, Attila was the hero though, so we weren't throwing away like a $9 million cup of coffee. I'm just kidding. It was like $6 or maybe $7, but and drank it though. I don't know if he liked it or not, but at least he drank it. Carrie said he's watching the new Fall Guy movie on the computer. Lee Majors and Heather Thomas have a cameo in the new Fall Guy. Cool. Let's see. So the warden says she's not a fan of their sugar-free stuff, but she still gets one sometimes at Kroger. Yeah, and Rick Winnan says Starbucks always tastes burnt. And that is true. And just so you guys know, a lot of times they say that because it is not, they say that it's their beans are not good, but it's not their beans. Their beans are actually pretty good quality, 100% Arabica, ethically sourced, single, they're high-end beans, but they roast the shit out of them at too high of a temperature in order to be speedy. So that brings forward the bitter in a big way. And the coffee, and Attila says the coffee was okay, but just okay. Oh, see, Carrie's backing me up on the facts. It's how Starbucks roast them. It's too high. Two cute cats asking Keto Simple, does Costco know you're cheating on them at a Walmart? I know, right? So, even though I have a whole pile here to share with you, I got to go on about this. So the dice tray. Here's the first thing that's a big difference between my pattern and theirs. They're using a one-sided snap. I use double cap snaps, so I don't have an ugly end. I have 2 sides that both look like this, and then they still snap together though. The other thing that I do think is a problem is that, here you can see my hands are clean. It's not sealed. Yeah. So here we are. That's a big problem. Fortunately, I'll just pick up a new can of leather sheen. I ran out, and I'll just spray it and seal it up. But so that's what happens. That helps lower your price from 25 to 15. That's why. So those are very 2 differences. I will tell you also that their leather could be conditioned, but that is normal. So I'm probably going to leave the inside fuzzy because I don't want to condition something that's not sealed, and then I don't want to condition after sealing, but I'm probably going to condition the exterior so that it gets all nice and supple. So that's the dice tray. And then Hungry He says, well, that explains the $15. Yeah. And so it's too bad. I would support them raising the price a little bit to seal that off. I think that they'll find that customers will be happier in the long run when their design doesn't rub off. And maybe you're not going to notice it right away, but over time that's really going to wear. Or worse, it's going to smear in there as you get jostled around and roll dice on it all the time. So, and it's super easy to seal because, yes, you can paint seal it or do lots of things, but Fibings makes a spray can called Leather Sheen, and it's just like, shh, and then you wait 15 minutes and it's done. Okay. So, yeah. So, I still have, like I said, a giant pile to share with you, but we're going to talk about my favorite game of the weekend. I played, well, I mean, it's not a new game, but I managed to get enough time to play a game of Manhattan Project, which we own. So it's not like I couldn't play it at home, but it's more fun with friends. And that's a very crunchy, it's strategy, resource management, and also worker placement. It's all three of those things. Those are types of games that talk about the different things you do. Like worker placement means that you have a pool of character pieces, and each person has a pool of their own, and you use one at a time to take a space on the board. Once you use that space, it's not available anymore until the next round. So you have limited numbers of moves that you have to manage in order to complete your goals. So I played that one, and it's a pretty hard game. The other game that I played was On the Underground, and I played the Berlin map. So it's a rail building system. So you're making railroads. So that one, we we might even have the Berlin map. I'm not sure, but I know we own On the Underground London, which was the original. And if you know anything about board games and you've seen the game Ticket to Ride, Ticket to Ride is a very popular board game. It's out like in like Target and Walmart, and it's a mass-produced board game now. And it's by Days of Wonder. And that one, it's pretty popular, and we do enjoy it. But there are some certain imbalances in it, and I feel like On the Underground took a Ticket to Ride, beefed it up a little bit to make it meatier, and then cleaned up the rules so it's real smooth. So those were my two favorite games of the week. Oh, I also played in a Kobold RPG. So it's a dumb RPG, and that makes it extra hilarious because you're just completely stupid, and it's hilarious. All right, Hungry Heath is back. Hey, what are you guys having for dinner? You might have said, and I already forgot. So I gotta move. I'm sitting on my foot. There we go. Let me get these mini games. Oh, look how close I got. Too close to the camera. Sorry, guys. Did I mention I was tired? Anyways, so I got a little set here of micro games. Check it out. And these are some promo cards to go with one of them. So we've got The Last Lighthouse. And check it out. So these are literally, it's the whole game. The cards are inside here. There's instructions. There's a player track for scorekeeping. Then I've got Unsurmountable. This one is a solo game, so you play it just by yourself. And this one is as well, Food Chain Island. So I thought these were awesome. I have the game for KPL. We'll get to it. It's actually close to the bottom of this pile. So, but I love micro games. I have some that are they're mint. They're called mint, and I can't remember what the second one is. But they're actually in mint tins. but games, and then inside are the little teeny game pieces and a paper fold out for your board. They're so much fun. You know what? I'm just going to take my shoe off. You guys aren't looking at my feet, and they're in socks anyways. It's not like it's a bare feet. So I've just had enough, obviously. And the more tired people get, for some people, it becomes a thing. I just can't keep my shoes on no more. And I like to wear shoes. Hungry, he says he doesn't know what he's having for dinner. He's still really full from lunch. They had Tex-Mex brisket tacos, so maybe a creamy. Well, that sounds good. I am definitely full. I ate a quick bout of breakfast this morning. I had some egg salad. I took a sausage patty from the hotel and had it on one of those little protein buns or cakes. I guess a protein cake, Mary T's protein cake. And then what else did I have? I don't know. That might have been it. And then I ate a package of nuts. And then so on the way, just before I was ready to leave the convention, I ordered Buffalo Wild Wings, and we had it picked up. And so I came home and devoured. Now, normally, I'm good with 10 wings. But man, if I didn't eat like 15 wings this evening, I was just like powering through it. So it is what it is. This happens. Okay, now I can resituate myself. I can't sit normal, you guys. Sorry. There's a lot of jostling about. I have to get used to it, I suppose. So, next game. This one, I have a lot of these are in shrink, not all of them, but this one is still in the shrink. I didn't open all my new games yet. Southern Rails. You're going to notice a theme here. Somebody in his household likes crunchy train games, and that person is me. So this one is Southern Rails. It's and a lot of these games are by Rio Grande Games, and I'll explain Rio Grande Games, and I'll explain why. But Southern Rails, this is another train building game, but this is what's called a qubits game, and the reason it's called qubits is because instead of really decorative fancy pieces, it's literally little cubes that you use. And here, so you're trying to use your shares to build train tracks. There you go. It's backwards, so I haven't quite got it down. So you're trying to build railways through all of these dots to complete your railway and make your shareholders happy. It's capitalism, but in board game format. Capitalism in the regular world is hard. Capitalism in a board game is a lot of fun. Carrie says he's played the Southern Rail when he was in South Carolina. It was a unique game. So, yeah, I don't know when this one was published. Rio Grande. It doesn't say on the outside of the package. Sometimes it does. But yeah. So you're going to notice that I have a lot of Rio Grande games here. And that is because Rio Grande is a huge, huge supporter of Buckeye Game Fest. And so everybody gets a free game. Volunteers get 2 games. I stole Attila's game, and I got a couple extra from giveaways, and also because I'm not just your regular flunky volunteer. I'm like I call it the middle tier flunky. I'm not a director, but I have most of the same responsibilities. Like if they're not available, I can make decisions. There are some things that I can't do, and that would be like negotiate with the hotel and things like that. But if it's like there's a problem with someone at the convention, I can make the call on how to handle it and just take care of it without having to dig people up. So anyway, Southern Rails. Now, this is going to seem very familiar. Like, is this the same game? This is Iberian Railways. And it looks the same because it's another Cubito sort of game. I'm trying to see how to show you. There's the cubes. It's hard to see, and it has a map, but they're not the same. In here, you're flat-ass broke. And so you are strategically starting off to take loans so that you can construct and make your share and build your railways, and hopefully you can make your shareholders big, fat, and rich. Again, train games and capitalism go hand in hand. Not good in real life, but great on a tabletop. So those are my first two games. So it suddenly got very quiet. Are you guys just looking at my games? So, and by the way, what else did I eat at this conference? So I shared a picture in the Hungry Heath group of our fridge crammed full. So let me talk to you about conventioning. I took with me, and is it the greatest food? No, but it's also not that bad, and I have no qualms about eating it any old time I want to. The warden says y'all are in awe of the game. Well, wait, because the best two games are the last two. So, so for food, so first of all, I took those, the Mary T cake made into little muffins, and those were great. But I just, from Costco, and again, like I said, I know it's not the number one best food, but they're actually pretty decent. I got the turkey and the ham in the big thick slices. So I had that. We also bought a package of pre-cooked bacon. And then I had a tray of the little square slices of cheese, a party tray of cheese. I took some multicolored bell peppers for like snack. We had mini Parmesan cheeses for snack. Of course, we took the heavy cream. I took some butter. And I took the remainder of a big block of Colby Jack. I also had some wisps and some Kirkland, that's the Costco brand, individual packs of nuts. We had mayonnaise, spicy brown mustard, and dill relish. I also took the Costco Kirkland hard-boiled eggs. So that was plenty of food. And so I would make an egg salad, or I would make a chopped, I was calling it a carnivore salad because I would take the turkey, the ham, and the cheese and chop it up into little cubes, mix in a little bit of a chopped up piece of bacon, throw in some mayo, salt, and pepper, and there we go. And of course, I also had my tomato and my mozzarella cheese, which was actually one night my dinner that I shared with you on Cheese Friday. But then I also had a third of it for a lunch and the other piece of it as a side dish to dinner one night. So I really made that go. The warden said almost an antipasta. Yep. But I found it very simple, which is nice, because one of the things that sometimes happens to me at conventions is that I relax a little bit and my stomach gets upset. This time I was super lucky and I managed to not upset my stomach at all. So I'm really pleased. So it was just fantastic. And like I said, the other thing that we did is I did eat out twice. I had the same meal out. That does not include my wings today. So I ate out 3 times. But the first night the second night, because I got there on Wednesday as part of staff to do some setup. So Thursday night, I went to an event at the brew pub. So I ordered food, and I had, they just call it their pub burger. And it is your burger topped with smoked Gouda, topped with caramelized onions. There's something, and then and then shoulder bacon. So shoulder bacon is like bacon meets ham, and it is super good. Then it was supposed to have a spinach whiskey sauce, But I got rid of that. I said and asked them for a garlic aioli instead. And oh my God, you guys, it was so good. So I have a game master for Magic the Gathering who, out of the kindness of his heart, came and worked at this con so that we can try and start building them a program. And one of the things I was like, let me buy you food today so that you have a really good meal. And so I used that as the catalyst, since I was buying food anyways, to have that same burger again. Because it was so good. And I had actually waited too long. I hadn't realized that because I had been running back and forth and doing this, doing that, going here, going there. By the time I got that burger, I was like ravenous, like nearly like shaky hunger. And I sat down and I started eating, and people were like talking to me, and I was like, yeah. And I finally I was like, you guys, I'm sorry, I'm eating like a wild animal here. Like, don't get too close. And they were like, oh no, we're there. Uh, so yeah, that was really good. We did manage to have a Magic the Gathering tournament, so I'm thrilled beyond belief that that actually happened. So that to me indicates that if we take some steps to like advertise and put the word out that it'll be there, that we can grow it and give them a real nice program. Uh, the warden says she might do that tonight. She has pre-cooked bacon and some lunch meat plus avocado. Ooh, avocado is a nice ad. And Carrie says I was winging it tonight with the chicken wings. Sharon says pre-cooked bacon isn't too bad in a pinch. Yeah, it's just so simple. And like I said, the sausages, if I eat too many of them, the free ones from the hotel, I do get an upset stomach. So I had 2 sausages in 4 days, and that was good. And it was just a low enough amount that it didn't upset me. So I couldn't be happier with my food outcomes. I will say, I also didn't do my naughty thing. I don't want to call it naughty. I'm just being funny, but an indulgence. And that is that there is the American Nut Company there. They have some sugar-free nuts that are sweetened with erythritol, and they are really good. And usually when I'm at the convention center, they're also a very small local Ohio company, which makes me happy about supporting them. And they also have a nice little LGBTQ safe space banner in their door. They're woman-owned, so very crunchy for me. So I like to go in there and buy them, but when things are too good and you shouldn't have them because you don't elicit good self-control, that's me and those nuts. I don't have good self-control. So instead of it being, 6 or 7 servings, which would probably be all right, it's like 2, and I suck it down. And then later I'm like, geez, why is my tummy upset? Well, why indeed? That's too much erythritol in one sitting. But it's enjoyable and delicious. So 3 times a year, I'm sure it's okay. Oh, Carrie says he's reading on drinking warm lime water, and it says it'll hydrate him better. So he'll be going with the limes. Technically, limes and lemons are the same thing, but I like the way limes taste better. So that might be a thing that I got from growing up and coming, being from Mexico. I was born in the United States, but a lot of my family's from Mexico, and we lived near the border a lot. But if you ask for lemons, you're going to get limes. Everything is limes. There is no lemon. So, but it's my preference. All right. Next game, Fifth Avenue. So Fifth Avenue is, I don't know a lot about it, but this was a free game by Rio Grande Games, the sponsor. Actually, this was one of Attila's free games, so I think we're missing a free game. I'm not sure. Could be upstairs already. But this Fifth Avenue, you're building skyscrapers on Fifth Avenue. So, another make your monies, and you're taking out loans and making monies. This is a popular theme amongst board games. Make some monies, right? So, Fifth Avenue. Oh, and Carrie says he figured that limes and lemons are the same. And before he was carnivore, his favorite pie was key lime pie. Nice. Yeah, Friday Annie is saying, Attila, are you missing a free game? She thinks she knows where it is. He knows I took it. So, this is the next game. This game is called Mariposas. It's a butterflies. The creator of the game, I don't know if I can get it on there, is by Elizabeth Hargrave. She is one of my favorite game designers, and this is by AEG. I know a lot of people who work for AEG, and they are just like the most delightful people ever. So I love when I enjoy their games. But what you're doing in this game, guess what? We're not trying to make monies. So in this case, what we're doing is you are trying to make your way and follow the butterfly journey during migration. So lots of things to do. You go through all four seasons. So, and I'll just show you. I'll just tell you what it says. Duh. Why am I trying to do this by memory? It has a description. Every spring, millions of monarch butterflies leave Mexico to spread out across eastern North America. Every fall, millions fly back to Mexico, but no single butterfly ever makes the round trip. Mariposas is a game of movements and set collecting that lets players be part of this journey. Set collecting is meaning that you are trying to get groups that are all the same or in a series. So there we go. But yeah, so that's a lot of fun, and it's a gorgeous board game. I've been trying to to get it for a while. Oh, so the best thing about it though is that its full MSRP is pretty spendy, and I hadn't managed to work myself a free copy. This one showed up today in a consignment shop, and it didn't sell. The way the consignment shop goes is ahead of time you can sign up and buy some space in the consignment shop. The consignment shop runs 3 hours, 1 hour at a time, and you get to shop. It's called Wave 1, and that has a bit of a higher price. It's what you want to make off the game. What you think is a fair price for the game based on its condition, usage, all that stuff. It's usually a good chunk of percentage off. So, like if it's a $60 game, your first wave tier for it being open and used is probably going to be about like $45. So that's wave 1, and you would pay that if you definitely want that game and you don't want anybody else to get it, and you're like, I've been shopping for that game and give it to me. Like, because the next 2 waves, there's risk. If you don't want it real bad and you're not going to be heartbroken if you don't get it, you might wait. In wave 2, some games remain and they have a second price. That price is a little lower. Say that 60 game that was at $45, it didn't sell, but you're like, I own too many board games. I've got to make some space. And guess what? We haven't touched this game in 6 years. It has got to go. I'm going to let it go for $35. So in wave 2, you can go through and be like, I took that risk, but you know what? $35 is just too good of a bargain. Somebody's going to snap it up. This has an 8 out of 10 rating on Board Game Geek. Buy it. Now, if there are games you see in that consignment shop during your walkthrough in that second wave, and you see one that you might like, but you're like, I could wait. If I don't get it, it's not the end of the world. and maybe somebody else should have it. I do have kind of a lot, and my spouse is starting to give me the evil eye about our ridiculous collection. Let me think about that. And you let it go. Wave 3 is these games got to go. Get these games, take them home, and give them some love. And I lucked out on this one because I did want it, but I missed Wave 2. But when I went there through on Wave 3, it was still there. I actually went to get another game, but it was gone, and now I'm actually heartbroken because I wanted to pick it up in Wave 2, but I missed it because I had busyness while I was working. So, and I had someone else go in there to buy it, but he forgot and bought it for his wife, and I'm like, well, I can forgive you because your wife is lovely and she deserves this game. And I can just buy it some other time. But $5, you guys, I got it for $5, and I believe it's like a $50 game. And I did look inside, and it looks like it has not even been. It looks like it has not even been played. So, like, what a bargain! I'm excited. Carrie says he came across something that says eggs can block iron absorption. He loves eggs, and it has phosphatin. He'll have to see what else to eat now. That might have been the issue. I don't know. I don't know, Carrie. I think that you need to give it a time. You've been very impatient with your iron. Try one thing at a time. And you also just could be you just could not absorb iron well in general. I'd say you are very extremely restrictive, like almost too restrictive, and you continue to further restrict. You actually may be exacerbating some issues by over restriction. You might do some research and see if there's some reversal on certain things that you can try that may help with that before you cut more. I don't know. It's just a thought. So let's see. This one, you can't see. Oh, there you can. You can barely see the title. This is called Time Stories. And it's still in shrink. What? So it's brand new. But I also got it in the Wave 3 of the consignment for $5. Time Stories is you are essentially time cops. So, hey, Dennis, good to see you. It's the future. You're trying to right wrongs. You're trying to, make sure bad things don't happen. The universe is in peril, and you've got to time travel and save everything. So, yeah. Can you believe it? And this is an expensive game, which is, I own a lot of expensive games. I have a whole freaking library that we rent to conventions, but this one, because it wasn't my 100%, I love this game. I also don't have a ton of requests, like only maybe one or two at a convention. Do you have ghost stories or do you have time stories? It's not something that gets frequently asked for, so I hadn't prioritized it. But for $5, I was so excited. Like I almost fell down. It was so exciting. So, time stories. We're gonna do some time cop traveling. Yeah. All right, time for another sip of this coffee. And then it's not quenching my thirst. I forgot. I just want to have part of my gamer sups in my Contigo Hoosier Con because I love my conventions. And the warden says the time sounds good. Airfryer Auntie is asking how long the games last, and it varies from game to game. They vary. Time stories is highly going to depend because part of it is also role play. So an hour and a half could go longer if you have chatty Cathy, very exuberant role players. which I do have a lot of role-playing friends, so we might really get into the character building and storytelling. I also have a lot of author friends. I mean, hello, my doctorate is in literature. We like to storytell. It's just how it is. So, but Mariposas is, let's see how long they say it takes. It should say on here somewhere. Maybe it doesn't say. Well, I would say it doesn't say on the box. Usually it tells you how long it should take, but I would say we could play a game of Mariposas in about 30 to 45 minutes. Fifth Avenue is also 30 to 45 minutes. The train games are probably more in the hour and 15. Let's see. And these are board games, but if we talk about role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, just so you know, one round of a D&D game, one session, because normally you play for a long period of time and do what's called a campaign. And that means you would play one, and then every other week you play a D&D session. Those sessions are like 4 to 5 hours long. And Carrie's chiming in and says some role-playing games last a very long time. When he was in the Navy playing games, they had some great DMs, and the games would go for hours. Yep. And Air Fryer Nanny says her brother and friends used to play D&D, and she would make stuff for them. That's super cool. And the warden says the time flies because you're having so much fun. It sure does. So I was just checking. My dog came over to smell the games, and I was like, what are you doing? All right. I still have, 3 more games to share with you. So, but what are the questions you have? You ask all the questions, and let's get some more conversation going. But you guys, look how cute this one is. It's Quilt Show. This is also a Rio Grande game, and this was, as part of my volunteer thing, we got to roll a die, and that die determined what game you got because it was just numbered 1 through 20 in little stacks of games. And I got this one, Quilt Show, and I was told that thematically it's quilting, but the people at Rio Grande used to call it Ticket to Quilt because it's very similar in game mechanics to Ticket to Ride, only you're making quilts instead of train staffs or train, you know what I mean? Instead of making railway systems, you're building a quilt. And it's just so stinking cute that I don't even care if it's a mediocre game, but I've heard that it actually plays well, and I'm just like, it's so stinking cute. I can't wait. We're ripping it open soon. And Brenda says, now I'm talking. And I was asked what my favorite game is. Let's see. Rickwood is asking what are some of my favorite games. So my favorite game company that publish it would be the Genius Games, which I've talked about them a little bit here. They have Cellulose. All of their games are science-based, but they've got a game called Cellulose, and we love it. And Genotype is another one that they have, and that's about plant genetics. And Dennis says, Carrie may be right about the eggs and iron frustration. Thomas DeLauer has said such things too, and that caffeine in your food will decrease iron metabolism by 80%. Yes, but the only reason I said to Carrie is that he needs to have some patience is that he has been, it's only been a couple weeks, and he's done like several different things, and so we don't have a good trend on what may or may not be working yet because not enough time has passed for recovery to determine if there is recovery or not. So the first thing he's done is the Rubio's tea has cut, and if it was just from overconsumption of Rubio's, that's going to take a couple weeks in and of itself. But I do agree that if the labs come back and that still hasn't started to change things after, the first 30 days, then the next thing probably would be something like the eggs. But I can't remember what we tried in between, Carrie, but you mentioned something else too. So if you've already done two things, all I'm saying is do one at a time and give it enough time for it to prove out whether it's effective or not effective. I don't discount that it could be the eggs, just that it's too soon to do more cutting. Does that make sense? And I'm not a medical doctor, so hey, if you want to cut eggs now, cut eggs now. Who am I? But just like a nerd on the internet showing you my board games, right? And I do a lot of reading, though. But yeah, Carrie hasn't had caffeine in his. Oh, but caffeine in his food. So yeah, he's very careful. Oh, and Carrie says that the last time when he donated platelets, he had enough hemoglobin to donate since he was at 13.1. Yeah, so that's what. Yeah, that's why I was saying be patient. But I definitely vote for some more hydration. And I'm not saying don't cut out eggs. I'm saying make that your next thing, but give yourself some space between to determine what you actually need to do. Whew, I needed a moment to breathe because I've just been a chatterbox. So I just saw some kid run through my lawn. And also, my cat just fell asleep up here. That's good. She'll be all active tonight. She was mad when I got home and was like, don't pet me. I think she was mad because I was gone for a few days. But it didn't last that long. But yeah, when I first got here, like the dog was excited. The other cat was like, hey, what are you doing here? I thought I own this place now. And he's like, but in the meantime, give me some hugs. But she was mad and was definitely like, I'll cut you. Yeah. Oh, there you go, Dennis. Carrie says he hasn't had caffeine in foods. He's very careful, and he would know if he had coffee in him since it usually gets to him so fast, and he can be jacked up. So could I see him now? Oh my goodness, yeah, because it's been so long that the first time you had some, you would definitely be bouncing off the walls. I don't know if it would be funny. It would be very concerning. I've saved the two best games. I'll show you those, and then we can say goodnight. And I'm gonna just like finish my coffee, and I'm gonna crash out so early. By the way, at the convention, so on Thursday, I had uh like 26,000 steps. Friday, by the time we did Cheese Friday, I had like 28,000 steps. And then I went back to the convention and I did like all kinds of running around. I sat and I played a couple games, but I also, one of the other volunteers got sick. So I took over doing some of their duties for a little bit. And I wound up needing to run to one of our sponsors and pick something up and then run all the way back. I mean, it was a lot on Friday. And then Saturday, I had 29,500 something or other steps. So it was another huge day. Mm-mm-mm. And then so today, though, was my low day. And let me see. I'm at 13,000 steps. So a much deserved rest. That might be why I was so hungry, though, and powered through all them chicken wings. Airfryer Annie says she's behind over there on the left coast, and dinner's going to be chaffle tacos. Chaffle tacos? That sounds really good. And Carrie says all the steps that I mentioned remind him of working in retail. He would put in so many steps on the sales floor that he would have to replace his shoes every 3 months. Oh, yeah. And on top of all the steps, Other than when I played in some games, I stood. In fact, on Thursday, I didn't sit down from between 8 o'clock and in the morning until about 5 o'clock in the evening. Uh, Actually, maybe I sat down for a few minutes, and then even when I was playing in my tournament, we were standing, so I didn't get a chance to sit. And then the tournament ran over. I had to change the time. Sorry for those of you that may have noticed that all of a sudden moved an hour later. Surprise. I had to hoof it because I had talked to Black Radish Creamery and I was like, save me a ball of mozzarella. Put it aside. Save it for me. Please don't sell out. And they were like, he was like, oh, Maitreya, we don't do holds on the fresh mozzarella because it's a limited daily thing. And I was like, please, it's for my YouTube. And they held it aside for me, but I was running behind. So I was like running through the conference center, and the conference center was cold. So I had extra layers, and I walked out into like this blast of heat. I picked up my cheese. I grabbed my little olive oil and my balsamic vinegar, and I had to go. And of course, it's all the way opposite end, so I'm hustling it back, and I'm getting all red and sweaty, and I'm like. So by the time we did that, it was my fastest Cheese Friday ever because I was going off like crazy, and I mean, you guys, it again, just like that hamburger, it was not a pretty sight. Once I turned that camera off, I inhaled that cheese before I went back to the convention. Dennis says the last scheduled Keto Chow meetup in Draper, Utah will be Saturday, May 18th for this year. Oh, that's going to be so exciting, and I wish I could be there, but even the Indianapolis meetup on the 19th I can't make because we have a local sci-fi convention here called Marcon, and my cosplay guild is running the cosplay events. So on Saturday morning of the 19th, we're doing a 2-hour workshop on cosplay build. Then we are having a cosplay fashion show and masquerade in the afternoon. And then right before dinner, we're going to do a cosplay parade, which is where all of the cosplayers get together in the lobby. And then we go through the venue, walk all through the entire place, and show off our amazing cosplays. And then Carrie says he thought the mozzarella cheese Friday was the best. Well, it was certainly short and fast. I know, and Dennis Williamson says, but it's Indigo Neely and Lindsay, just saying. And I love Indigo Neely. I'm a long-time subscriber, even before Keto. I actually originally found her for Instapot stuff. That's right, in case you didn't know, Indigo Neely, before she was Keto, still had a fabulous YouTube channel, and she was really inspiring with the Instapot. And I had the Instapot, and I was like still getting my feet wet, trying to figure it all out. Her YouTube was amazing, and it helped me so much. And now I'm an Instapot freak. So she's a long-time inspiration. All right, 2 more games, and then we're going. Oh, you guys, this game is called Pictures. This is also a Rio Grande game. And you guys, I was so excited because there weren't a ton of them. And this was also a part of that press your luck, roll a d20, and wherever it lands, the game you get. And I got the 20 because the Pictures was the natural d20 pile, and I got it. This has won the Spiel des Jardins award in 2020. And this is the one that I'm thinking might be one of the games that would be really fun at Ketopalooza during our Thursday meetup. Because this one, what you do is you get these picture cards, hence the name Pictures, and then you get like a little pile of supplies, and you keep the card that you get secret, and you take your supplies, and you try to make the picture. Then everyone tries to guess what picture it is that you made. So there's a lot of fun judging there. I think it's just utterly cute and delightful. Let's see. Dennis says he was gonna bring a pair of bacon wrapped sausage fatties. Oh yeah, that sounds good. I say do it. Sharon says yes. Let's play. So I will bring pictures to Keto Palooza. And Brenda says that it does sound fun. And then this game, the last game that I told you guys, I had a good convention with very little spend, so that was awesome. Oh, this one's heavy. Ah. So this one is called Katana. This game is highly rated on Board Game Geek, and I don't blame them. But this is what I would call medium cardboard. I rank my games. There's family friendly, good for non-gamers, party games. Oh, and Dennis says he doesn't think Neely will eat pork products. Oh, no. Oh, you're right. I don't think she is eating pork. So let's see. But yeah, I forgot. But I think Lindsay does. I'm not 100%. I miss Lindsay's YouTube a lot because the timing is not good for me. And then I forget and I don't go back. But that's okay. But yeah. At any rate, Shogun no Katana. Katana is a type of sword. That's a Japanese sword. And you are a sword maker. And so you're trying to build up your credit so that you can be a katana maker for royalty. And so it's very elaborate. You have to go through the tiers and build up your credibility and your reputation and all kinds of cool stuff to become this glorious katana maker. It's a game of balance too, because you can get to make katanas, but if you make too many, it's going to hinder you and they'll conflict with each other and your reputation will actually go down. So you got to find that balance. But if you don't make enough katanas, you're not going to have enough success to build your reputation, and then you don't win. But the most important thing, it's not the most important thing, I exaggerate, is that if this were not still in shrink, and you see this yellow dot, that's right, consignment shop. It was not $5 though. I did pay $15, but this is a pricey game, a game that I've wanted but was unwilling to spend the money on it because it was too pricey. So I'm thrilled. And the thing about it is that in addition to being super great for actual play, it is expensive and it is gorgeous. The art on it is so beautiful. Dennis says his favorite board game was created, Dr. Dobson, the Ungame. Oh, I don't know it, but that doesn't mean anything because there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And Carrie says katana are in fact cool swords. Yes. And they vary a lot. Look at me, I'm opening it in my excitement. So it has this outer sleeve. And check out the artwork on the back, which it's not as easy to see on the camera, but I'm going to show you anyways. So it's this beautiful hand drawing. And then I don't even know if I can show you because it's not punched out. So I don't know that you'll get the real effect of it. But here's look at some of the playing cards. And you can see, look at just even their rings with the cherry blossoms on it, the sakuras. And it's cardboard, so the beauty, it's just a gorgeously well done game. So let's see. Yeah, and all of these are little pieces. I'm trying to show you too, and what I'm going to do is get these painted because it also has miniatures. If I can get it out of the package. Here's one. I know, I'm just so excited to show you these things. So, check it out. It's hard to get the detail. What if I hide my face? There we go, sorta. But and then so they've got a couple. They're really nice. It's hard to do it with the trying to get it in front of my face so you can see it, so it'll focus right, but it doesn't want to. So this guy has his backpack. It's just really well done. I'm telling you, I cannot wait. And like I said, so since these are blank, you can customize them. Sharon says she sees hours of painting. That is correct. I will tell you too. Then there are more minis. These are the top tier royalty minis. This one, look at it. It has a parasol. She's beautiful. But it also has these little bags of more minis. And then the cubes are jeweled. So they're jewel tones instead of being little wooden cubes. And then so you've got your green miniatures here too. They're all really detailed. Sometimes when you get games with minis, they're kind of slapdash and not real exciting. But these, I mean, what can I say? Just the beauty. And metal coins, 2 kinds. So we've got these. I don't know. Do you guys care about my stupid metal coins? Man, I'm excited. And then Barely Begun says, wow, the minis alone are worth more than the price I paid. They sure are. And then check out here, these coins. God, they're so nice. The coins are so, so nice. And I'm just going to say, I like to buy the metal coins for games when I can get them because they up the quality so much. But yeah. So this was my find of the con. This was the number one best find of the con. By the way, in one of the tournaments that I played was a game that I absolutely love. It's Cascadia, and it's super, super cute. And usually, I'm pretty good. But let me tell you guys, oh my God, I was having an off night, which happens. But like, last place, you guys. Last place. I can't get the box back together. I'll wait till after. I think I put it backwards, that's why. I don't know what I did. Minis go here. That's the thing with these boxes. You got to get them just right to fit them back together proper, and it's not always that easy. Ugh. Close enough. So yeah. And of course, these are the player boards. So this is the back side, and then your player board. Like I said, look at that for just being the cardboard piece. But the drawing is so nice. They went all out. That's all I can say. Next size up, and all the pieces that I will have a lot of fun punching out. Sharon says she gets the horse. So yeah, that's it. Now I'm really done, you guys. That's all of the games that I got at this convention. Like I said, I just thrilled beyond belief. It was so nice and so much fun that I just, I'm sad that it's over, but also I'm so tired that I'm glad that it's over. I can't put the sleeve back on. I'll put the sleeve back on afterwards because it's going to be too fiddly. So now, what board game nerds do at conventions, sorta. I will tell you that it was glorious to see like the space all full of people playing board games of all kinds, old ones, new ones, card games, multiple tournaments, role-playing games, war games, you name it, they played it. So, and with that, I'm going to say goodnight to you, and I hope that you guys have a fantastic week coming up. I will see you on the other live streams throughout the week, and of course, definitely for Cheese Friday. we'll see what else happens this week. You guys, I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's always a pleasure. I love chatting with you guys. And we'll talk real soon. Bye bye.